Boy, there's so much misinformation out there. It's starting to become crazy to navigate all of it. David Stearns is not coming to the Mets, period, stop. So, I mean, I don't know why that's so difficult for people to understand. You know, Milwaukee still controls what he does and where he does it. You don't let a guy under contract break the contract to leave to take a job that you've prevented him from taking for the last 2 years, you knuckleheads. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I had to send 5, 6 different text messages to respond to the Stearns news with that exact same comment, which is,
and by the
he's
way,
still under contract.
Remember a year ago when I first said that? You and I said it, and people were like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And of course, we do know what we're talking about.
Yes.
David Stearns is a consultant still. I just want to get this out of the way because it's just stupid.
Yes.
All right? He's a consultant now in Milwaukee to the Brewers, right?
Yes.
You don't let a guy essentially leave with time on his contract to go take a job that you have prevented him from taking based on the very contract you have with them. Now, do the Mets like him? Everyone knows the Mets like him.
They're not the only team that likes him.
Right. He is going to be a highly coveted guy if and when Milwaukee says, okay, you can leave and we want nothing back in return.
But they're not going to do that.
Why would they do that?
They would want something back, and there could be some good openings. Like, for some reason, and I haven't figured out, like, the details on why, the Astros may let go of James Click, the general manager of the Astros, which from the outside makes no sense.
No, all the guy does is build a championship quality team.
And certainly if the Yankees ever decided to move on from Brian Cashman, which they won't, they would be interested in a guy like David Stearns. But you're right. When I heard the story, and it was surprising because I didn't see it coming, that he was going to resign as team president and remain as a consultant.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the contract. He still has one.
Yeah, Billy Epler's running the New York Mets as Sandy Olson eventually exits here. It's Billy Epler's squad until they do hire someone. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the big news today in the baseball world is that Mariano Rivera caved. Mariano Rivera came out like a tough guy yesterday. I would fire Aaron Boone, allegedly. We didn't hear the quote. We read the quote.
Well, he also said it in Spanish, so it was translated.
Fair enough, right. So
be fair about that.
I didn't hear him say it in English.
Right.
I didn't hear him say it in Spanish, but I did read it. We all read it. And all of a sudden, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. You know what happened. I know what happened. There was backlash. Not that he's right or wrong, because a lot of Yankee fans think Aaron Boone shouldn't come back as their manager. But he heard it. He heard it in the inner circles and sanctum of Yankeeville. Excuse me? You went out and said that we should fire Aaron Boone? Excuse me?
It also could have been.
And he caved to that pressure.
It could have been. So last night you had a stomach issue. So you were in the restroom at about 6:17 towards the end of the show. I don't know if you remember this.
It wasn't a stomach issue, Evan. I'll tell you what it was.
Yeah, what was it?
It was an extraordinarily long urination.
Okay.
I must have had a lot of glasses of water yesterday because I wanted to get out of there and it just kept coming out.
Whatever the reason was, at about 6:17, show's about to end.
Yeah.
I saw this story. And here was my initial reaction at that moment. My initial reaction was, boy, that's effed up.
Right. I felt the same way.
He said about a guy who was his teammate, who had a home run that caused Mariano to faint on the field at Yankee Stadium.
That's right.
He said, whether you agree with Boone being fired or not, just take a step back. He said about a teammate. It's like someone asking me my opinion on someone here and saying, well, I don't know, their ratings suck. Fire them.
Who are you talking about?
I wouldn't say it. Because I don't think I'm a bad guy. And I've never deemed Mariano a bad guy. So for all the Yankee fans who passionately dislike Aaron Boone, just take a step back. He said about a teammate, a former teammate.
Allegedly. Right.
Right, through
That's
translation.
what the report was, right.
Well,
the report was Derek Jeter supports Boone. Mariano wants him out. That was essentially the report,
no,
right?
Derek Jeter gave the response we'd all give. He said, I like Aaron.
Yep. That's my guy.
And that's your way of kind of not answering it. Derek Jeter didn't say Aaron Boone's a great manager. Derek Jeter didn't defend his moves in Game 3 of the ALCS. Derek Jeter was a good human. He said, hey, I like Aaron. He's a good dude. He was a teammate of mine. And so when I first read the translation, I think that's really important because sometimes things do get lost in translation. They really do. My first reaction was, damn.
Right.
That's a little left up.
No doubt. So that's what's going on with the Yankees. But the big news today, right now in the moment at least, is the fact that the New York Giants got tired. The New York Giants got tired of whatever crap Kadarius Toney was shoveling behind the scenes that we are not aware of over there at Giants camp. He hasn't gotten on the field at all this year. We keep hearing about a hamstring issue. And Joe Shane and Brian Dable said, enough's enough. You're not one of our guys, right? And Kadarius Toney has been traded for a third-round pick and a fourth-round pick,
and
I think it is.
Sixth-round pick, if I'm
Third
not
and
mistaken.
six, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So 2 picks, third and six.
And it's not a conditional third the way it was first reported.
Third and six, you're right, I apologize.
It's a third-round pick. Okay, it's a compensatory third-round pick, but it's a third-round pick. So, because I think at first when you read conditional, you say, well, Tony's got to be healthy. He's got to be on the field for that to turn into a third-round pick. The way I'm reading it now is that it's a third-round pick. And if I said to you yesterday, the Giants are going to dump Kadarius Toney. Let's play a game. What are they going to get back?
Well, first off, I would have said, no, they're not. Then I would have said, not much.
Right.
Guy can't get on the field. We saw glimpses of greatness. We all did. We all saw it. We were all like, wow, they got a great player here. And then we came down to the reality that Kadarius Toney cannot get on the field due to what we've been told are hamstring issues. But watch him play for Kansas City this weekend.
Look, if he goes out and plays and shows the promise that he showed the brief time he was on the field, that could turn out to be a steal for Kansas City. I acknowledge that. But James Robinson, and granted it's a different position, I acknowledge that. James Robinson is a useful NFL player who's played. He didn't play against the Giants, but that was a coach's decision. And he showed a lot of promise in his rookie season. And the Jets gave up nothing for that.
6th-round pick?
But here's a wide receiver. Granted, he's got a lot of potential. I'd argue so does Robinson. He's actually shown it. And the Giants got significantly more for a guy who hasn't played.
Now, if Kadarius Toney balls out and plays at any point this year, like the glimpses we saw of him last year, Kansas City got a potentially great player who ostensibly filled some of the role that they lost in Tyreek Hill going to Miami. And it'd be great for them. Great. Okay. Big deal. The New York Giants aren't messing around. Joe Shane and Brian Dable have no loyalty to anybody that was here prior to them getting here. And if you aren't part of the solution, get out.
Well, Craig, you just hit on it. Dave Gettleman doesn't make this trade because Dave Gettleman's got the egg on his face that he passed up on Micah Parsons, which is going to be linked to him. For all the good Gettleman may have done with this current roster, and there actually is some good, even though you don't want to admit it, there's some bad. And maybe the biggest of bads would be not taking Micah Parsons, trading back. Now, they did end up with Evan Neal a year later, though it was a Joe Shane decision.
Right.
But that pick turned into Evan Neal, and we'll see what it turns into once he's on the field. But I don't think if you made the pick and the decision to trade back and the selection of Toney, you have the balls this early on to dump him for a 3rd and a 6th.
100%
But when it's not your pick,
who cares?
And you're the new sheriff in town, it's easy to just kind of wash your hands and say, let's move on. But my follow-up to this deal, while it's great value, is, hey, Joe Shane, what are you going to do now? Because the New York Giants desperately need help at wide receiver. Daniel Jones agrees when he's screaming at Marcus Johnson, catch the damn ball, even though he walked it back. So you now have been armed with 2 extra picks. You've been armed with a tiny bit more cap space from this trade.
That's right.
What you going to do about it?
Yeah, listen, you got to imagine that being 6-1 changes the kind of plan they might have had back in August or July or when they got the job, right? Because now you're a legitimate playoff team.
Yes.
And if you're a playoff team, you have a chance to win a Super Bowl. None of us think the Giants are good enough to win a Super Bowl based on pure talent, but hey, they've won a Super Bowl as a wild card team before, so who the hell knows what's going to happen? What NFC team would you say right now today can the Giants not beat? Very little answers to that question. So you're right. Now it becomes, all right, Kadarius Toney is gone. Even though he didn't play, he's got to be replaced by a wide receiver that can get on the field. No disrespect to Darius Slayton. No disrespect to Wan'Dale Robinson. No disrespect to Sills. But they're not good enough collectively for this team to make a legitimate run in the postseason. So name a wide receiver on a bad team. I'd rather not do that, but I'd be shocked if the Giants don't try to improve the position.
I think they will. And I think Joe Shane knows why the heck not at this point.
Yeah, now here's the other rub for you. This clearly, to me, means that Kadarius Toney behind the scenes was becoming a nuisance to them. Not just because he couldn't get on the field. Injuries do happen, and you got to be respectful of that, right? Mm-hmm. But why would you give up a guy that we've seen have explosive ability if he's just hurt?
And, Craig, a position of need.
Right.
What are we saying right now? They have to trade for a wide receiver. Well, in theory, if Kadarius Toney got healthy, there's your wide receiver.
So to me, and they're not going to say it. They never say it. Kadarius Toney was a problem behind the scenes. And I'm making that up because I don't know that to be factual either. But you don't get rid of a wide receiver when you need a wide receiver if the wide receiver you got is available to play from a health standpoint.
Yes.
That just doesn't make sense.
I don't think there's any doubt. And we're going to see how serious this injury is because all of a sudden Kadarius Toney now gets to partner up with Patrick Mahomes. He gets to elevate in a first place in the AFC West.
Dude, I wouldn't be shocked if he's playing on Sunday.
Well, what does that say then about what was going on the last few weeks?
That would mean that he was faking an injury here or something else. I don't know.
I don't know.
It would piss me off a little bit.
I don't know if it's faking an injury necessarily, and I don't think it comes down to that. That's why I would expect that Toney misses some more time, considering he hasn't been practicing. I would think that Brian Daboll is a no-nonsense head coach and has gotten to know Kadarius Toney over the last few months, and not because the injury isn't real or anything like that, but looks at him and says, no. That's not my kind of guy. I don't believe in him. I'm not going to be able to trust him. And I think the relationship Shane and Daboll has, which is part of the strength of them being connected together, is that if Brian Daboll says to the general manager, I don't see it with this kid, from a personality, from a working hard standpoint, then Joe Shane's going to say, okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think that's the rub here. And again, they're not going to come out and say it, but maybe some players will leak it out at some point. Kadarius Toney must have been what they call in the business a malcontent.
Well, he's already tweeted. You know what he said?
Kadarius?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's something about how much he loves Patrick Mahomes.
Chiefs Kingdom, baby! Thank you, God.
See that? That's what Elijah Moore was trying to do. He went to God also.
Elijah Moore's thinking to himself, wait a second.
Elijah Moore's like, wait a minute. I could have got to Kansas City. Damn you, you heathen.
Doesn't that make you think, boy, if the Jets did decide to trade Elijah Moore, who has been healthy this season, who has done some things in the NFL, a little bit more than Kadarius Toney, that the value coming back would be better?
Well, I'd also think, the real question is, if Kansas City was actively looking for a wide receiver, not that they would have even thought to call the Giants. I assume the Giants might have called them if they hear through the grapevine that they're looking for a wide receiver, which a lot of people, I'm sure myself included, I figured Kansas City's straight on offense. They're not looking for another wide receiver.
They're number one in points scored this year. As much as we talk about how they missed Tyreek Hill, all fair, they've scored more points than anybody in the NFL.
They average 30 points a game.
Right.
So I didn't think that they were going to be in the market for a wide receiver. But if they are, and clearly they were, you have to wonder, did they call the Jets?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
No. The reason I say that,
I thought you read that somewhere.
No. The reason I say that is that the Jets made it known
because Elijah Moore is better today than Kadarius Toney.
100%, but the Jets made it clear we're not trading him.
Yeah, but you say that publicly, you still take the phone call. Right?
I don't know. Here's why I don't know about that. I think the Giants made a decision. We don't want this guy anymore. I don't think the Jets have made that decision with Elijah Moore.
No, he's going to be on the field on Sunday.
He's playing on Sunday, especially with the injury to Breece Hall, that they look at their offense and say, hey, if we're going to get to the level we want to get to, we're going to need our quarterback to make some plays. It behooves us to have Elijah Moore. So maybe Kansas City called him and offered more, but Joe Douglas probably said, no gracias, we're good.
We'll get all your calls and all that. And then I'm sad to report on this show that it has happened for the very first time in my life. I've gotten a little taste in my bloodstream now. I have a virus. I got the Evan Roberts virus.
The Evan Roberts virus?
Yeah, and it's really bothering me.
That's not good.
No, it's not good.
You don't want some of this, bro.
I got a little Evan Roberts virus. I went to Princeton Longevity Center. They're like, everything else is good, but we did a blood test. You've got the ERV.
So you have an urge.
What are you going to do about it?
You have an urge to score Game 1 of the World Series?
No, not that virus.
You're living and dying through every NBA basketball game, and you want Ben Simmons, sent to another planet?
No, but I did watch basketball last night. No, the Evan Roberts virus. I'm worried about Sunday's Jet game. I'm worried about it.
How can you not be?
I'm worried that the New York Jets are not going to do what I need them to do.
Win.
Which is not just win, blow the doors
okay,
off
hold on.
the New England Patriots.
Correct.
But I'm with you.
Correct.
I'm with you. The virus has me worried that they're going to lose.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I understand that we all feel as Jet fans that there needs to be blood on Sunday. And I have that same vision and that same hope as you. But I don't give a damn if it's 3-2 or if it's 9-6.
I understand that. I want to be clear.
They have to win the football game.
My virus, your virus that you infected me with when I gave you some of my Ralph's Italian Ice yesterday is that the Jets are not going to win.
Can I ask you a question?
And I'm worried about it. I want them to win, obviously. I think they're going to win, but the virus in me says, this is going to be a problem. And that's really upsetting.
Is it time?
Is it time for what?
Is it time for you know what?
For what?
Is it time?
The milk bath?
Is it time?
No.
It's not.
You still don't understand the rules of the milk
Listen,
bath.
I'm just responding to the many tweets I got. It was about 4 of them saying, hey, Evan, can you ask Sir Milkman, Milk Carton, is it time? This is a very important Jet game.
Yeah.
What can we do about it to ensure victory?
Let me walk you guys through the milk thing just one more time. The milk bath is to rid a team of bad juju. The Jets don't have any bad juju right now.
Excuse me?
I'm just concerned.
They haven't beat the Patriots in 150 years.
Yeah.
They don't have bad juju.
There's no bad juju.
Their star running back is missing the rest of the entire season. Their star left tackle, right guard, left guard is also missing the rest of the season. We're the New York Jets, and you just uttered on the radio, quote, we don't have bad juju?
Not in the moment, we don't.
Excuse me?
In the moment, there's no bad juju. It's all good juju.
You're crazy.
We've got juju, but it's good juju. I better watch what I say in front of Kanye West. I apologize for saying juju there. I don't want to feel the wrath of Kanye after the show. We'll get into why. And if you're a Jet fan, maybe you can help talk me off this bridge I'm on right now, because the Roberts virus is real and it's living in my bloodstream right now, and I can't shake it. I'm dying to shake it, but I can't shake it.